So, folks, big news in the world of politics, specifically in Texas politics. So, most of you are familiar with a man named James Talarico. He's running for Senate in Texas, and it's a really big deal. He's kind of cultivated this JFK, folksy, good-natured, like good-hearted campaign, and it's really gained a lot of momentum. He's been going very, very viral, and well, let's take a look at his announcement. All right, let's just see how he did with his announcement. This was, by the way, from 2 months ago, almost to the date.
The biggest divide in our country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. Billionaires want us looking left and right at each other so that we're not looking up at them.
That's right.
The people
Bottoms
at the
rise
top
up.
work so hard to keep us angry and divided because our unity is a threat to their wealth and their power. So their social media algorithms and their cable news networks tear us apart. They divide us by party, by race, by gender, by religion, so that we don't notice that they're defunding our schools, gutting our healthcare, and cutting taxes for themselves and their rich friends. It is the oldest strategy in the world: divide and conquer. But we will not be conquered. We're underdogs in this fight. We're going up against those billionaire mega donors and their puppet politicians. We're going up against a rigged system, and we're going up against a lot of money. But I'm a former middle school teacher. I don't scare easily.
And those middle schoolers are really scary.
And Texans don't scare easily. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. He taught me that we follow a barefoot rabbi who gave 2 commandments: love God and love neighbor. Because there is no love of God without love of neighbor. Every single person bears the image of the sacred. Every single person is holy. Not just my neighbors who look like me, or pray like me, or vote like me. Those billionaires are trying to keep us from seeing all that we have in common. They're trying to keep us from realizing that there is far more that unites us than divides us. Because once we do, we will come together, across party, across race, across gender, across religion, to take power back for ourselves and our communities. 2,000 years ago, when the powerful few rigged the system, that barefoot rabbi walked into the seat of power and flipped over the tables of injustice. To those who love this state, to those who love this country, to those who love our neighbors, it's time to start flipping tables.
Now, look, I'm not a religious person anymore, but I did get raised up in this kind of shit. And let me tell you, it still resonates. Like, this message of, you know, it is time for us to upset the status quo and overturn the oppression we face at the hands of these billionaires and millionaires. This is a really good speech. This is a great sentiment and a great policy. It's not policy, just position to stake out, right? The issue is it's very vibes based, you know? And in the future, I'd like to go more in depth on what kind of the primary of this race for the Democratic Party is going to look like. Because today, it turns out that, well, James Talarico is not running alone. another force has entered the race in the form of Jasmine Crockett. So Jasmine Crockett is now also running for the state, or not the state, but the U.S. Senate seat. And this is what she put out to announce earlier today.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man, oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
Like, yeah, she is a U.S. House of Representatives member of Congress, and she is now gunning for the Senate seat. It's a good ad. It's a good ad. Again, going entirely off of vibes, both are very different vibes. But the concern was, how is this going to be received? Because earlier in the day, Colin Allred dropped out of the race, right? And to be fair, I don't think he was looking very good in a matchup against Talarico. But Jasmine Crockett might be able to actually might actually be able to pull this off versus Talarico. Her district was one of the ones that got nuked by the redistricting. Yep. So she's gunning for Senate. And where we're at is kind of like, okay, which way are we all gonna go? Right? Are we gonna go down and dirty? Like, is the Talarico campaign gonna like go after and go at Jasmine Crockett? Like, none of this seems correct or accurate, right? Like, how exactly do you do this? Because absolutely there are going to be campaign folks around James Talarico telling him to go low, to do some low blows. However, it seems for the moment that is not, in fact, what is happening. So, earlier today, Talarico for Texas, official statement from James Talarico. We're building a movement in Texas fueled by record-breaking grassroots fundraising and 10,000 volunteers who are putting in the work to defeat billionaire mega donors and puppet politicians who have taken over our state. Our movement is rooted in unity over division, so we welcome Congresswoman Crockett into this race. Like, we're seeing like a very high road, high-minded take on the campaign. And honestly, if this kind of energy could be indicative of where things are going to go in the midterms and where things are going to go in the national election in 2028, this could be really good. This could be a really positive development for the Democratic Party overall. Largely because if you can successfully run multiple candidates in this fashion, where they are not taking these low roads to attack one another, well, it makes it possible to run more progressive candidates and for them to band together, dropping out of the race to support one another in order to secure, again, positions for more progressive, farther left members of Congress. And, or at least in the general. Right? And that's really what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a bunch of different, smaller grassroots campaigns taking their best stab at it, and whichever one seems to be resonating the most with the general population, other progressives amicably dropping out, no bad blood at all, and supporting one another, fusing their campaigns together like some kind of progressive Voltron, right? And I think that this is going to be potentially really good if this becomes a trend that continues, right? So right now, I'm feeling very cautiously optimistic that this is what we're going to be potentially seeing. Exactly, Nethercat. Kind of like Zoran Mamdani and his name wasn't Landry. God, I should know it. Well, Zoran Mamdani's guy. Not Landru. That's a character from Star Trek. Brad Lander. Thank you. Jesus. Brad Lander. Yeah, no, like, getting more folks into elections like that, I think can be a really excellent way for us to gather more volunteer resources, more donations, etc., and combine them together, while also building up potential future progressives in the same vein. Thank you to everyone who understood my Star Trek reference. So, with all that being said, I'm optimistic. I think this could be good. So folks, like, comment, subscribe, do the things that help the channel grow, especially leave a comment. The commenting has been helping an awful lot. And please consider supporting the show with subs, donos, memberships, super chats, etc., because you guys make this show possible. Couldn't do it without you fine folks. And with that, let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's